So we're going to be exploring App Connect this time. So App Connect allows us to quickly integrate applications or existing services together, especially with very well-known services. In our case, for example, today we're going to start looking at how to integrate SalesForce with our existing applications. And we're going to do that by doing an event-driven flow, which is basically a flow. A flow means going from one place to another in one direction. And that's how the messages work in this way. So we're going to look for Salesforce. Salesforce is going to be our entry point. Now, you don't see it here, but I've already done the connection to Salesforce, which is unique for almost every connector. And by not writing a single line of code, I am able to access most of the features within Salesforce. Things such as getting new contacts, when new cases are created, or any product. Literally anything, because we can also make custom ones. So what we want to do here is we're going to try something very simple, which is we want to be able to save all of our data into a database. So we want to have a second copy of everything that's happening. That's because once the data is in our database, then it becomes easier for our developers to access that instead of going through sales work in this way. So we are using Salesforce, we're looking at the input, and because we chose to use new contact, we can actually generate the data. We know before we start doing anything what the data looks like, because the connector is smart enough to get all the information from the system. Here you can see the data, and so you can actually use this in the future. The main reason for being able to do this is to basically map the data when we want to make the transformations. We're going to be very naive here, and we're gonna probably not gonna make any changes to the data, but realistically speaking, we probably don't need all of the attributes, and in a real application we probably want to go and just select some of them. That's what we normally call a mapping. So here we have the database, which is a cloud end database hosted online, and very simple. We are sending all the data inside a collection called contacts backup. And this is when the mapping happens. Like I mentioned before, we're not going to change anything, but this is where we say how we want the data to look, what actually goes inside the database. We know it's coming from Salesforce, and we're just simply going to take the whole lot as it is, the whole contact. If we want to make the changes, then we can simply make the changes accordingly. Now we can start the actual process, and this integration is now live and ready to be used. So if we head to Salesforce, we can go and create a new user or a new contact, and that will trigger the flow. So let's go and create one, new contact, and let's go, and this is gonna be Doubtfire, Allison Doubtfire. We don't really need to put anything else here. We can just leave it blank. It's a Salesforce application. We're not making absolutely any changes here. And that's the real beauty of it. It's having the applications being able to talk to each other without interfering with one another. All we're doing, we are integrating together. This may seem something extremely simple and not that mind-blowing, but the fact is most companies, most SMEs, large corporations live on these kind of things. And I'm sure that you can come up with your own examples of how you can use this. I'm gonna save it. Okay, well, there was a little problem. There's no fire core, so well, I registered IBM, so this is gonna a new IBM contact. Okay, let's save it and let's go check in our database. I'm gonna look in our collection, and there it is. So we have successfully connected the applications together. The data is doing exactly what it's meant to be doing, and thank you.